5 spiritual mindsets that separate chosen ones from everyone else. There is something different about you. You've felt it your whole life, haven't you? A sense that you don't quite belong, that the way you see the world isn't the way most people do. While others are caught in the endless loop of routine, distractions, and surface-level thinking, you've always been drawn to something deeper. You've questioned, you've searched, you've felt the pull of something greater than yourself. And that's because you are not like everyone else. You are one of the chosen ones. But being chosen isn't about superiority. It's not about being better than others. It's about being awake in a world that is asleep. It's about seeing beyond the illusions that keep most people trapped in fear, doubt, and limitation. And what separates the chosen ones from the rest isn't luck, talent, or even intelligence, it's mindset. There are 5 spiritual mindsets that redefine how you experience reality. 5 shifts in perception that elevate you beyond the ordinary and align you with your higher self. And once you embrace them fully, life will never be the same again.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The first mindset is radical self-awareness. Most people live their entire lives as strangers to themselves. They react to their emotions without questioning them. They follow paths that were never meant for them. They carry beliefs that were handed to them by society, family, and past experiences without ever stopping to ask, is this truly what I believe? But the chosen ones, they do not take their thoughts and emotions at face value. They observe them. They question them. They understand that the voice in their head is not always their own. It is a collection of programming and conditioning. And because they are aware of this, they have the power to rewrite the script. But here's the paradox. The deeper you go into self-awareness, the more you realize that the self you thought you were is just an illusion. The ego, the identity you've built based on past experiences, societal labels, and personal narratives is not who you truly are. You are something far greater, something beyond all labels, beyond all limitations. And once you detach from the false self, you begin to tap into your true power. The second mindset is detachment from external validation. The world is designed to keep you seeking approval. Social media, advertising, culture, they all feed on your need to be liked, accepted, validated. Most people spend their lives molding themselves into what they think will make them more desirable, more successful, more worthy. But the chosen ones, they are immune to this game. They do not seek validation from the external world because they have already validated themselves internally. They do not need likes, recognition, or approval to feel whole. They walk their own path, even when no one understands it, even when they are doubted, criticized, or ridiculed, because they know that truth does not require confirmation from the masses. And here's the thing, when you detach from the need for approval, you become unstoppable. You are no longer controlled by fear of judgment. You no longer make decisions based on what others think. You move with confidence, with clarity, with an unshakable knowing that you are on the right path. And ironically, when you stop seeking validation, the world begins to respect you in ways it never did before. The third mindset is embracing the unknown. Most people fear uncertainty. They cling to routines, predictability, and comfort because stepping into the unknown feels dangerous. But the chosen ones, they thrive in uncertainty. They understand that the unknown is where all possibilities exist. They do not resist change, they move with it. They do not fear losing what they have, because they know that every ending is just a new beginning in disguise. I think about this, every major transformation in your life has come from stepping into the unknown. Every breakthrough, every moment of growth, every time you discovered a deeper layer of yourself, it all happened when you let go of certainty and embraced the mystery. What if, instead of fearing change, you welcomed it? What if, instead of hesitating, You trusted that the unknown is not your enemy, it is your greatest teacher. And here's the ultimate question: what would your life look like if you stopped resisting the flow of change and fully surrendered to it? The power of energetic mastery: how chosen ones shape reality with their vibration. Everything in this universe is energy. Every thought, every emotion, every action carries a frequency. And while most people move through life unaware of the energy they are emitting, the chosen ones understand that their vibration is their most powerful tool. They know that their external reality is not separate from them, it is a reflection of their internal state. When they shift their energy, their world shifts with them. This is the secret that separates those who struggle from those who thrive, those who feel powerless from those who create their own destiny. To master your energy is to master your reality. Most people believe that life happens to them. They think they are at the mercy of circumstances, luck, or fate. But the chosen ones? They know that life is happening through them. They recognize that every experience, every opportunity, every challenge is drawn to them based on their vibration. If they are vibrating at the frequency of fear, self-doubt, or lack, they will attract experiences that reinforce those emotions. If they are vibrating at the frequency of confidence, abundance, and love, they will attract opportunities that align with that energy. But here's where most people go wrong: they try to change their external world without first changing their internal state. They chase success, relationships, and happiness, thinking that once they have these things, they will finally feel fulfilled. But the chosen ones understand that it works the other way around. They do not wait for external validation to feel abundant. They embody the energy of abundance first. They do not wait for love to feel whole, they cultivate self-love within. And because they operate from this frequency, their external world naturally begins to align with it. I think about this. Have you ever noticed that when you are in a negative state of mind, everything seems to go wrong? You wake up feeling frustrated, and suddenly small inconveniences start piling up. You attract situations and interactions that reinforce your frustration. But when you are in a state of flow, when you feel aligned, inspired, and powerful, things seem to fall into place effortlessly. This is not coincidence. This is energetic alignment. The universe is constantly responding to your frequency, whether you are aware of it or not. But here's the real challenge: how do you maintain a high vibration when life gets difficult? How do you stay in alignment when things aren't going your way? This is where the chosen ones separate themselves from the rest. They do not allow temporary setbacks to dictate their energy. They do not let external circumstances pull them into low vibrations. They understand that their power lies in their ability to remain in alignment no matter what is happening around them. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through emotional transmutation. Most people suppress their emotions or allow them to control them, but the chosen ones know how to transform their emotions into fuel. If they feel fear, they do not run from it, they face it and turn it into courage. If they feel pain, they do not dwell in it, they use it as a catalyst for growth. If they feel anger, they do not let it consume them, they channel it into action. They understand that every emotion carries energy, and that energy can either be destructive or constructive, depending on how it is used. Another key to energetic mastery is protecting your energy. The world is full of distractions, negativity, and low vibrations that can drain your frequency if you are not careful. The chosen ones do not expose themselves to toxic environments, people, or content that pulls them into a lower state. They are intentional about what they consume mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. They surround themselves with people who uplift them, they engage in practices that nourish their soul, and they set boundaries to protect their energy. But the most advanced level of energetic mastery is the ability to shift your state instantly. Imagine if, no matter what happened, you had the power to return to your highest vibration within minutes. This is not just possible, it is a skill that can be developed. The key is to have rituals and practices that anchor you back into alignment. Whether it's deep breathing, meditation, movement, music, or simply shifting your focus, the chosen ones have mastered the art of resetting their energy at will. They do not stay stuck in low vibrations because they know how to rise above them. And here's the ultimate truth: your vibration is not just affecting your personal reality, it is influencing the world around you. When you operate from a high frequency, you become a force of change. You uplift others simply by being in their presence. You inspire without speaking a word. You attract opportunities, people, and experiences that align with your energy. This is why the chosen ones do not chase, they attract. They do not force, they allow. They do not struggle, they flow. So I ask you, what frequency are you operating at right now? Are you in alignment with the life you desire, or are you emitting a vibration that is keeping you stuck? And more importantly, what would happen if you fully stepped into your energetic power? The unshakable faith of the chosen ones, why they never fear the unknown. Faith is the foundation upon which the chosen ones build their entire existence. Not faith in a religious sense, though it can take that form, but faith in something even deeper, faith in the unseen, faith in the process, faith in themselves. Most people live in a constant state of fear, always seeking certainty, always needing proof before they take a step forward. They hesitate, they doubt, they overanalyze every decision because they are terrified of the unknown. But the chosen ones, they move with a different energy. They do not need to see the entire path before they walk it. They trust that every step will reveal itself at the right time. They understand that the universe is not random, that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when it doesn't make sense. This level of faith is what allows them to take risks that others won't. While most people are waiting for the perfect moment, the chosen ones create the moment. They understand that the perfect moment does not exist, only the present moment does. And the present moment is always an invitation to step into something greater. They do not need guarantees, they do not need validation, they do not need permission. They trust their intuition, they trust their inner knowing, and they trust that even if things do not go as planned, they are always being guided towards something even better. But here's the paradox: faith is not about having all the answers. It's about being at peace without the answers. It's about surrendering to the flow of life rather than resisting it. Most people try to control everything. They obsess over outcomes, they cling to expectations, they fear losing what they have. But control is an illusion. The more you try to control life, the more anxious and powerless you become. The chosen ones understand that true power comes not from controlling outcomes, but from mastering their response to them. They do not break when things do not go their way. They do not crumble in the face of uncertainty. They adapt, they adjust, they trust. I think about the most powerful figures in history, the ones who changed the world. They all had an unshakable faith in something greater than themselves. They believed in possibilities that others couldn't see. They walked paths that had never been walked before. They took leaps that seemed impossible at the time. And because they had faith, they made the impossible possible. This is the energy of the chosen ones. They do not limit themselves to what is realistic. They do not shrink themselves to fit into the expectations of the world. They expand beyond limits, beyond fears, beyond doubts. But faith is not just about big decisions, it's about how you navigate everyday life. It's about trusting that even the smallest moments are part of a bigger picture. It's about knowing that every challenge, every setback, every delay is not a punishment, but a redirection. The chosen ones do not see failure as failure, they see it as feedback. They do not see closed doors as rejection, they see them as protection. They do not see uncertainty as something to fear, they see it as the space where miracles happen. And this is where true freedom is found. Because when you trust the process, you stop living in fear. You stop stressing over things that are out of your control. You stop wasting energy trying to force things that aren't meant for you. You move through life with a sense of ease, knowing that whatever happens, you are exactly where you are meant to be. This doesn't mean you don't take action, it means you take action from a place of trust, not desperation. It means you move with confidence, not hesitation. It means you embrace the unknown instead of fearing it. But let's go even deeper, because faith is not just about trusting the universe. It's about trusting yourself. Most people do not trust themselves. They second-guess their decisions. They rely on others for approval. They silence their intuition in favor of logic. But the chosen ones? They listen to that inner voice. They follow their instincts, even when they don't make sense. They understand that their intuition is their greatest guide, that it is connected to something far beyond their logical mind. And because they trust themselves fully, they move through life with a sense of certainty that others do not have. And here's the ultimate test of faith. Can you still trust when everything seems to be falling apart? Can you still believe when nothing is going your way? Can you still hold your vision when the world is telling you it's impossible? This is where most people give up. They lose faith the moment things get difficult. But the chosen ones, they do not waver. They do not let temporary circumstances dictate their destiny. They hold on to their knowing, even in the darkest moments. And because of this, they always find their way through. So I ask you, what would your life look like if you fully trusted the process? If you stopped resisting, stopped doubting, stopped fearing, and simply allowed yourself to flow with life? What doors would open for you? What opportunities would find you? What miracles would unfold? Because the truth is, the universe is always working in your favor. The only question is, do you have the faith to see it? The final mindset: how chosen ones manifest their reality with absolute certainty. Manifestation is not wishful thinking. It is not daydreaming, hoping, or waiting for things to magically appear. It is a conscious act of creation, an alignment between thought, energy, and action. The chosen ones understand this at the deepest level. While most people see manifestation as something uncertain, something that might happen if they're lucky, the chosen ones move differently. They do not wish for things, they expect them. They do not hope things will work out, they know they will. This is the ultimate difference between those who create their reality and those who are controlled by it. The key to manifestation is certainty. When you are certain about something, you move with a different energy. You do not hesitate, you do not second-guess, you do not wait for external confirmation. You act as if it is already done. And because the universe responds to your energy, it begins to rearrange itself to match your belief. But this is where most people fail. They try to manifest from a place of doubt. They say they want something, but deep down, they do not believe it is possible. They are filled with fear, hesitation, and conflicting energy. And because their vibration is not aligned with their desires, their manifestations never come to fruition. The chosen ones, however, have mastered the art of full alignment. They do not entertain thoughts of failure. They do not allow fear to dictate their actions. They do not need to see evidence before they believe, because they believe first and the evidence follows. This is the secret that separates them from everyone else. They understand that the universe mirrors their inner world. If they carry doubt, the universe reflects uncertainty. If they carry certainty, the universe delivers exactly what they expect. But there is another level to this, a deeper truth that most people overlook. Manifestation is not just about what you want, it is about who you are. You do not attract what you desire, you attract what you embody. This means you cannot simply think about success while carrying the energy of lack. You cannot hope for love while carrying the energy of unworthiness. You cannot seek abundance while vibrating at the frequency of scarcity. The chosen ones understand that the fastest way to manifest anything is to become the version of themselves that already has it. They think, feel, and act as if their desires are already reality. And because they live in that energy, reality bends to match them. This is why self-concept is everything. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, you will continue to struggle. If you see yourself as someone who always finds a way, you will always find a way. If you see yourself as powerful, capable, and deserving, the world will reflect that back to you. The chosen ones do not let past failures define them. They do not let temporary circumstances dictate their worth. They choose their identity, and in doing so, they choose their reality. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Manifestation is not just about receiving, it's about alignment with purpose. The chosen ones do not manifest from a place of greed or ego. They do not chase things just for validation or external status. They manifest in alignment with their highest path. They understand that true manifestation is not about forcing their will onto the universe, but about co-creating with it. They listen. They follow the signs. They trust that what is meant for them will come at the right time. And because they move in harmony with the universe, their manifestations unfold effortlessly. So, how do you step into this power? How do you manifest with absolute certainty like the chosen ones? The first step is to remove all internal contradictions. If you want something, but deep down you believe you can't have it, your energy is split. The chosen ones do not allow inner conflict to dilute their power. They decide. They commit. They align every thought, every emotion, every action with their vision. They do not entertain doubts because they know that doubt is the only thing that can block what is already theirs. The second step is to embody the energy now. Most people wait to feel abundant until they have money. They wait to feel loved until they have a relationship. They wait to feel successful until they achieve something. But this is backward. The chosen ones feel the energy first, and then reality catches up. They wake up every day already feeling the way they would if their desires were fulfilled. They walk, talk, and think from that space. Because they know that when they hold the vibration long enough, the physical world has no choice but to align. And the final step? They let go. Not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of trusting. They do not obsess over when or how things will happen. They do not check for signs every 5 minutes. They know that once they have set their energy in motion, it is already done. They continue living, creating, evolving, knowing that what is meant for them is already making its way into their reality. This is why they never chase, they attract. They never beg, they command. They never fear, they trust. So, I ask you, what would your life look like if you carried this level of certainty? If you stopped doubting, stopped hesitating, stopped questioning whether you deserve what you desire? What if, starting today, you decided that your vision is already reality and you simply stepped into it? Because the truth is, the chosen ones are not chosen by luck or fate. They are chosen because they choose themselves. And now, the only question that remains is, will you?